Hello and welcome back to another episode of previous year's question paper analysis with me, Dr. Ake. If you are a political sciences student preparing for your semester exams, this one's going to help you decode, understand, and answer two heavyweight thinkers, one from the medieval period and the other who broke away from it. We are looking at essay type question number 9, which appeared in previous year's question paper of university exams. Usually you are asked to choose between A, Thomas Aquinas' views on law, or B, Machiavelli is the father of modern political thought. Explain. You know the drill. Let's break down both questions clearly. So whichever you face in the exam, you walk in prepared. Let's start with Thomas Aquinas, a 13th century philosopher and theologian, often considered the bridge between Christian theology and Aristotelian philosophy. When Aquinas talks about law, he's not just talking about rules or punishments. He's giving us a cosmic, moral, and legal framework that starts from God's divine wisdom and moves all the way to human action. His ideas are mainly found in his magnum opus, Summa Theologica. So, what are Aquinas' views on law? He classifies law into 4 types. First, eternal law, second, natural law, third, divine law, and fourth, human law. Eternal law is the divine wisdom of God. It governs everything in the universe, from nature to morality. Humans can't know it fully, but it's the source of all other laws. So that's about eternal law. When it comes to natural law, which is the rational part of eternal law that humans can access, it's based on reason and tells us what's good or evil. For example, preserving life, living in society, seeking truth, all are parts of natural law. Third type of law Aquinas discusses is divine law, which is found in scriptures and religious texts. It gives guidance on matters beyond human reason, like salvation or faith. Fourth type of law is human law. These are the laws made by governments and institutions. They are supposed to be rooted in natural law. If a human law goes against natural law, Aquinas says it's not a real law and need not be obeyed. So what's the big idea here? Aquinas is saying true law is moral law. It's not just about command and control. It's about reason, justice, and the common good. So in your exam, you should answer by introducing Aquinas as a synthesis of Christian and classical thought, then go on listing and explaining the 4 types of laws clearly, then include a few examples to show how these laws interact, and add critiques, for example, how modern secular thinkers might challenge his religious foundations. You can even mention how ideas of Aquinas influenced later ideas of natural rights and even the rule of law. That's Aquinas, structured, rational, and theological, all at once. Now let's jump a few centuries forward and meet the man who broke away from that religious worldview, Niccolo Machiavelli. The Renaissance of political thought. His most famous work was The Prince, which was written in 1513. Now when the question says, Machiavelli is the father of modern political thought, what does it mean? It means he was the first major political thinker to separate politics from religion and morality. Here is what made Machiavelli modern. First, secular politics, then realism over idealism, then the ends justifies the mean, and then next, politics as an autonomous field. So how secular politics ideas made him unique. Unlike Aquinas, he didn't base politics on God or morality. For Machiavelli, the state operates on power, not divine order. The second idea which makes Machiavelli modern is that of realism over idealism. What does that mean? He preferred realism over idealism. He said, don't focus on what ought to be, look at what is. That's why he is often quoted, it's better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Third one, which makes him modern, is the idea that the end justifies the means. A ruler, according to Machiavelli, can use deceit, manipulation, even cruelty if it helps secure the state, because for Machiavelli, stability and power matters more than virtue. And this is a controversial issue. We'll be coming back to it. Fourth idea, which distinguishes him from other thinkers of his time, is his idea of politics as an autonomous field. He introduced the idea that politics has its own rules, which is separate from ethics or theology. So in that sense, Machiavelli laid the foundation for modern political science, real politics, and even some parts of diplomatic strategy. So in your exam answer, you start with Machiavelli's context, that is Renaissance Italy and unstable politics, then go on to mention his rejection of idealism and embrace of real-world politics. Explain key concepts from the Prince, for example, power, fear, pragmatism, and then add how he influenced later thinkers, for example, Hobbes, Marx, and even modern leadership theory. It depends on you if you want to contrast with Aquinas to show the shift from medieval to modern. Also, you can address the controversy. Was Machiavelli immoral or just brutally honest? That discussion would add depth. Alright, so there we are. If you are more inclined towards a structured, value-based theory with roots in theology, then go for Aquinas. It's your go-to-go answer. But if you want to show how politics became a science of power and practicality, then go with Machiavelli. Both are great essay-type questions. Both can fetch full marks if written with clarity, structure, and connection to broader political thought. This is Dr. RK helping you see the question beyond the words and helping you write what matters. If this helped you, don't forget to revise this once again with pen and paper and share this episode with a batchmate who is still stuck between Aquinas or Machiavelli. Catch you next time. Until then, write well, think sharp.